I'm going to be showing you how I attach the bloomers to the bodice. So here I have my my 1/2 inch corner that's been created from when I've sewn down this back side, and then I've come in and across 1/2 inch. Why I've done this is because when my bloomers are inserted, we want that 1/2 inch overhang so that they will both meet up. The next step is I would like to fold up my edges a 1/2 inch and press them up, which I've actually already done on the other side. So as you can see, both sides have been ironed a 1/2 inch. Okay, so I'm going to be flipping over my bodice, and I'm going to flip my bloomers over. I'm going to expose the corner of the placket. I will then start pinning my bloomers from the corner, lining up with the stitch, across. So 1, I'm then going to ensure that my gathering is evenly distributed across the bodice. So the bloomer is now pinned to the front of my bodice. I'm now going to take it over to the sewing machine, and I'm going to be starting in the corner where the stitches end, and I'm going to just continue sewing straight along. So I'm back from the sewing machine, and I've just sewn my line across. I've attached my bloomer to my front bodice. So now when I flip it over, I have created a 1/2 inch placket with my bloomers then starting, and then it runs the whole way across. Now what I've got to do next, just to finish it off, is on the other side I will pin this. I'm going to be pinning this one down, I will then pin that down. I'm going to run a little hand stitch along there, and then of course I'm going to just edge stitch that. Okay, so now I'm going to do the other side of the placket, or the other side. I'm just back from the ironing board, and I have turned up both edges a 1/2 inch. I am now going to be I'm now going to start attaching my bloomer to my bodice. So let's flip that over, flip it all around, push out my corner, so I've now pinned across my other bloomers to the bodice on the other side. I want to ensure that they do match up perfectly. So what I like to do is I grab the seam that I've already finished off this side, and I grab that. I then put a little mark where these meet with my fabric pen. That did not go as well. So across there. And I now know that I need to make sure that that line is where my stitching starts on. So I'm going to line that up into that corner, and I'm going to pin that down. And now when I go across to my sewing machine, and I will start stitching from my mark, which is going to be lined up with the placket, and I'm going to stitch across. So I'm now back from my sewing machine, and I have stitched my line across, and I have ensured that I ended with my mark that I made. So now when I flip it all over and I give it a press and pull my corners out, when I overlap the two, they will meet perfectly at the back placket and kiss. Now, okay.